London AIM-listed Hummingbird Resources has recently reported the first full quarter of production at its Yanfolila mine in Mali. It poured 33,000 ounces of gold, selling 38,700 ounces in the quarter at $1,307 per ounce, helping it to take its cash pile to $46 million. It also continued to push forward progress at its Dubi gold project in Liberia, the largest gold deposit in the West African country with some 4.2 million ounces. Dan Betts is founder and chief executive, and a very happy man because you got this first full quarter under your belt. You've performed as expected, and it all seems to be humming quite nicely. What's the news? Forgive the pun.
No, thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for having me again. Nice to see you. The news is that, you say we performed as expected. We performed as we hoped, I think, is the honest answer. We've set out an ambitious timeline, and we delivered to it. We delivered the construction, then we delivered the ramp up on time, and the mine is performing as we had hoped. So, as you quite rightly said, the first full quarter of production, we produced 33,000 ounces of gold at costs that were outlined in our DFS from years previously. So, for me, that's reassuring that we're doing the job right and our team know what they're doing. When you say what's next, ultimately we're in the middle of our first rainy season. The plants, monitoring how the plant and the mine perform during the rainy season and ensuring the ongoing performance that we've seen in the first quarter is our priority. And just getting the first year of production under our belt is the priority of the business at the moment.
So is that 33,000 ounces that you produced in the first quarter repeatable?
Yes, it is. It's not an exact science, but if you look to our guidance, we said that in the first full year of production, we'd produce 130,000 ounces. And in 2018 calendar year, because the first quarter of the year was a ramp-up period, we'd look to produce in the region of 105,000 ounces. So we're on track to do that. The exact production profile depends on where you are in the pit and what you're mining at any given time. But absolutely, that's our expectation, to maintain that run rate. Now we're up to full production.
And you have all-in sustaining costs, I think about $760 an ounce, I think, isn't it? Some way below where the gold price is today, but of course it's a lot further away than where the gold price was when you were selling in the first quarter.
Well, that's right. So we are a lower cost producer. That gives us more of a margin than many producers, and that gives us some comfort. But the gold price, as you say, has been absolutely hammered over the last 5 months, and I'm sure that's no coincidence that market sentiment towards gold stocks has been weak. If you take almost $200 an ounce off the gold price, in terms of Hummingbird, it's over $20 million of free cash a year straight out of your bank account. So it's a material change in the profile of the business. That said, we can weather a storm a lot better than most, and because we've ramped up on schedule and on time and the mine's performing well, we're in a good position.
Are you in a good position to be able to cut those costs that you've got, despite the fact you're already a relatively low-cost producer amongst your peer group?
You can always cut costs, but I wouldn't be looking to do that at the moment because the mine is working. I don't think there's that much fat in the business at the moment. I think it's working well, but it's obviously an ongoing process that you're looking to refine. But we're a long way from dramatic action. We're in a very healthy cash-building position, and we're also, importantly, quite unleveraged. So, the total debt the company borrowed was $60 million, and as you quite rightly said, we've got almost $50 million of cash in the bank. So net debt is really tiny for a business like this. So I certainly don't want to be complacent. The gold price is a massive issue. Costs are always under pressure, but we're in a good place.
Yeah. What are you going to do with the money that you're accumulating? You are bringing cash onto the balance sheet as we speak. If this is something that continues, investors would like to know a little bit more about the intentions down the road. Yeah,
no, that's a fair comment, and we've probably. I think the truthful answer to that question is we have only just finished the first quarter of full-scale production. We're a brand new mine. It's almost unheard of to do what we've done, to ramp up a mine to full-scale production without a hitch, on time, on budget. Everyone expects there to be hiccups. We haven't had one. We're still mining through the first rainy season. We still haven't had any hiccups. But let's just get the job done before we get carried away with decisions about what we're going to do with the money in case you need it for a rainy day. Pardon the pun.
Yeah. What about the Dubi gold project in Liberia? Clearly, this is something that you want to bring along. 4.2 million ounces, the largest inferred deposit, I think, in Liberia.
Yeah, and it's for us, I think it's a massive opportunity to create value, and it's almost forgotten in the Hummingbird story now. The story's all about Yanfolila and Mali and how we take that forward, and there's lots of upside there. But this huge deposit in Liberia is just sitting there, almost worth nothing in our market cap, and yet we know from the studies we've done it has tremendous value. I mean, it's a big project and it will take a lot of capital to build it, and our thinking is that we need to be more intelligent about ways to unlock that value, and we're certainly not going to rush and spend all our money that we're building on developing the project in Liberia immediately, but we're certainly working to develop our options, and I think they're looking very encouraging. A new government in Liberia, they're very keen to support development of businesses, and I think we've just got to continue the process. Yeah,
you say you don't think that Dubai is in the share price. Let's take a look at the share price of Hummingbird Resources. This takes us back to 2015. The price at the moment is 26.5 pence. This represents a market cap of around about 100 million. You've got something approaching 40 million sterling of cash on the balance sheet. That's an interesting point to mention. If you want to comment on that, please do. But what is priced in at these levels? I mean, you're producing 33,000 ounces or certainly have in that last full quarter at Jan Verliezen, and as you said, Dubai's not there at all.
Well, I really think it's not there at all, because if you look at the valuation of Hummingbird, we're trading at a little bit over 2 times free cash flow. So for me, that's extremely cheap, and I guess the question is, can we sustain that? Can we continue to deliver? Hummingbird's an unproven entity. Is the operating team going to deliver the way the construction team delivered? And ultimately, I'm confident we will, but we've got to prove it. There's no point in me talking about it, we've just got to do it. And I think ultimately value will out. So much as I am depressed about the fact the share price has gone down since we hit our milestones and got into production, I can only control what I can control, and that's delivery and getting the team right and performing. And I think the gold price being hammered is an enormous factor in all of this. I mean, if you just take your head out of Hummingbird and look at the gold sphere, I mean, gold stocks are absolutely on their knees. So again, I'd say we've now been through the process of being an explorer from first principles to now being a producer with cash flow, positive cash flow today. I know I'd rather be here, rather than needing to raise money. And so I mean, I can ultimately focus on getting the job done at the moment.
One of the other interesting things you're doing that I've never seen before in a gold producer is you're producing your own coins, 1 ounce coins, and I think you brought one along here today to show us. What's the principle behind this? This is an SMO coin. What's that mean, first of all?
Well, SMO means single mine origin. Really, the story behind the coins is all in the heritage of Hummingbird, because our family business is a gold refining and smelting business, and the family business actually minted these coins at their factory in Derbyshire. So for me, it was an idea to the romance of the vertical integration from first principles of exploration all the way through to a finished product. You can buy these investment coins, or you could ultimately use single mine origin gold to make jewellery, and the whole world of ethical sourcing of products, whatever it is, be it your clothes or your metal that you use in your car, is becoming a much bigger issue. Well, this must be the first listed commercial gold mine in history that say, well, we actually know exactly where that gold came from, to the drill hole, all the way through the process to here's your finished product. And you can see as an investor in that coin all the sustainable and alternative livelihood projects that we're doing, be they clinics or market gardens or farms or soap factories. You know, they're all on our website. You can see that this is a company that is massively committed to reinvesting in the communities where the gold came from. So in one sense it's tangible, and I like the angle that you can really see. You invest in Hummingbird, well, here's a piece of that gold, but it stands for something much bigger, which is the principles of the business.
This, as you say, is an investment piece, isn't it, really, as much as anything? This is 1 ounce, is it?
So this is a pure 1 ounce gold coin, just like a Krugerrand. I mean, obviously much more limited production, but I mean, the margin is tiny. It's not to make money, it's more just to have the product so that people can have a piece of Jan Verliezen gold. We also make a 10-ounce one, but in the Betts business's idea for the future, I think they would like to take the SMO idea and make jewellery and jewellery products out of single mine origin gold to show that it's ethically sourced, and I think that would be a great thing to be involved in.
Okay, let's take a step back and a big picture look now. In summary, where are you going? What are you hoping for? End of year, you're talking there about possibly replicating what you've seen in this first full quarter at Jan Verliezen. Where would you like to be by the end of the year, or in second or third quarter next year?
Well, I mean, the way I see it is defence and attack. And I'm no football manager, so I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will go, what the hell's he on about? But first thing for me is defence. We need to defend our cash flow, defend the production, make sure that the mine and the plant operates well, and we don't score any own goals. Okay, that's the first thing for me. Assuming we deliver on all of those operational targets, attack. Where are you going to get extra mine life? How are you going to provide the story for the future in this business? And we are exploring, the drills are turning, we're looking to convert resources into reserves to extend mine life, potentially find more gold as well as resource conversion. That would add some spice to the story. And then there's huge opportunities presented by this market. Because we're now in the position we're in with cash flow, you know, the team have been evaluating dozens and dozens of projects. I mean, if something outstanding came across our desk, we've got the team and the skills and the backing to do it, and now has to be the time to execute that. But that said, that's certainly not a commitment to doing any M&A, because our internal criteria for a project are extremely rigorous, and ultimately there's a flaw with most of them. So you've got to be able to deliver it.
Yeah. Look, Dan, it's a pleasure. Thanks indeed for updating us on this latest quarter. That's Dan Betts. He's the Chief Executive and founder of Hummingbird Resources.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed
Cheers.
for coming in. It's great. And you have your coin back.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah.